Hello, welcome to the Heart's Frontier. I'm Kate, and if you are returning, then welcome back. It's nice to see you here. And if you're new and you like the video, then please make sure you do like and subscribe so that we can keep staying in each other's lives. Okay, so I happen to be actually on mostly a day off, had to work this morning, but tomorrow and today I took off for myself, which I don't actually do very often. And even still, I had a feeling this is going to happen. I actually just really feel compelled to do this. It doesn't feel like work to me to, talk to you all. It feels like genuinely this is what I want to do with my time. So I just wanted to thank you, first of all, for allowing me this space to really be happy and do what I love to do. Yeah, even if I don't get to be here every day, it's just such a joy whenever I get to be back. So happy. Today I'm going to do a pick a card. So we have the Crow, we have the Gatherer, and we have the Moon. So, Crow, Gatherer, and Moon. Oh, I just love these cards. So pick a card that you feel drawn to, and then you can zoom ahead to the pile that you chose, or you can always choose to listen to the entire video. These are going to be messages of healing, messages of support. I feel like they may be not so much surface stuff, not so much like brain, but more deeper level. But of course, we'll see where I am guided to. So without further ado, this is pile number 1, the Crow. So I feel very close to the Crow energy. I tend to just really feel drawn to like the personality of it. Crows to me are these like sort of like sacred keepers. They're sacred keepers of law, of spiritual law, of order, like what is truly right and wrong from a heart and spirit centered place, which really, like, that's a hard thing to stand up for in this world that really shows you so many things that are not that. When you're seeing a whole bunch of it feels like you may be seeing a whole bunch of things happening around you that don't really suit your values and don't really it just seems wrong. Like there's something that just seems wrong for you that you're witnessing. Crows shine a light on things, so really it's like they could be seen as really dark or rude, just laughing at you, like because these crows have this caw, it could be seen like they're laughing at you, but really it feels like they're bringing lightness. And it's funny, I do say this with clients a lot. I would rather laugh through and laugh with the pain when we can. And sometimes it can seem poorly timed, but joy is a healing tool. It really, really is. And crows really don't mind, they don't mind themselves with what others think, yeah, and they're very intelligent. So you may be very intelligent, you may be seeing a lot around you and really critically analyzing what's not working and doing it, you're right about what you're seeing, but feeling frustrated that the things around you aren't matching or something like that is what I'm hearing. Okay, great. Where is... She says talking to herself. Oh, it's on the other side of my desk. 1 second. Pile 1, you just gotta have to wait for me. I need this book because this book is the joy of this deck for me. I really, really do love it. Also, if you're not already cozy, please try to get cozy. I am just loving the cozy vibes since this cool weather has hit. And not everyone's embracing it yet. So I'm just going to send that invitation out to you, pile one. Go get cozy, snuggle up. Okay, the crow. The crow is the keeper of universal law, the law of truth. Crow teaches us to walk our talk, to find congruence between who we say we are and who we really know ourselves to be. This winged one insists that we speak truth, that we create truth instead of searching for it, and that we bring truth to every situation we find ourselves in. It does feel like you may be feeling challenged, like you're sort of trying to walk the peaceful path, and in doing so, you're actually negating the things that you're feeling very passionately about. So it is sometimes a challenge to stand up for the things that you believe are right or what's in your heart, but you're being asked to do so. You are being asked that. So when you speak the truth and when you practice truth, eventually everything you say becomes true. Your power to co-create with truth is the universal law. Correct what is untrue in your life without judgment and let the truth set you free. I'm going to say that again one more time. Correct what is untrue in your life without judgment, right? That part is very important. It needs to be without judgment. You just need to see it, discern that this is the thing that's not fitting. This is the thing that's not truth. And then let it go, like correct it. Whatever you have to do to create truth again, like to create truth once more, and let the truth set you free. So this is really about being true to your word and your internal word, right? Nobody gets to tell you what your own inner compass is pointing you towards. And sometimes what you're being pointed towards doesn't make sense to other people. And so this is what it feels like. It feels like you might be letting other people allow you to step away from your truth, even just for a moment, like even just for time. It still really, really hurts when you're not acting in line with your truth in life. And I've been there. I have totally been there. You're just not acting like yourself, not acting like your own truth, or you're letting things happen around you that, bring you farther from your own truth. So yeah, okay. We have rosemary. So this is a protective herb. So it may be that you're in need of some protection, and it may also be that you're using your mind, like you may be doing some studying, some learning. I always use rosemary when I'm learning because it really helps your brain. It helps you study and retain information. So I'm going to read the poem on the back here. It says, "When your mind is full of squirrels or ghosts or an open sack of marbles, rosemary is there to shake the blankets, vacuum in one hand, sword in the other, clearing and cleaning, then pulling the bed sheets tight." I really relate to this right now, actually, because I was just doing some tidying up today, and it really felt like divine order for me, having worked a lot this week and loving it and feeling very aligned with it, it still felt like something was missing, and that something really was taken care, for me. And taking care of your home space really feels like putting things in order. So even if you're struggling with how to put things in order in your life, try putting the things in order that, at least you could start with. So if there's relationships and income, challenges, and also you're having a hard time with your day-to-day, tasks, pick whichever one feels easiest. Pick whichever one feels like you can action it out today. And that's one more step towards your truth. And I just don't feel like you need to worry about other people and what they're thinking. It doesn't feel like you need to worry about that at this time. It's way more important that you put that focus back to you and back to yourself. I feel like you've been going through, this is what you have been coming from. This is Saint Germain. It's karma releasing. So it says, move beyond drama, create your own path, and make room for good energy. So yeah, it does feel like you've allowed yourself to listen to all these other people. And this is why the crow symbolism is coming up, right? Like, call back. Like, you don't have to go and say to everyone, what they need to do. You just need to speak what you want to do. And I think that's maybe where things have been getting confused. It's like, almost like you want to go in a certain direction and hoped that other people could be alongside you with that. But at this time, you're actually being asked to move beyond the expectation or frustration that you may hold with others around you in life, not understanding your path, and create it, right? Because often, even some of my really, really dearest loved ones can't quite understand why I would do the next thing. This is why I feel so, I very much am a crow-like energy as a person. If you know me, like in reality, you may or may not see that aspect of me. And I hope that, you do, because that's really how I feel I am at my truth, is one part crow, one part, many things, I'm sure. But yeah, if you're in this crow energy, you're really able to discern sharply, do what you need to do, and trust that everything will work in sacred order, right? Like, you not living in your truth is you allowing things to be unjust and unfair and unlawful. And that's sometimes what it feels like, right? Definitely in times where I've not felt like myself, I've felt like things were really out of order. Like, it felt really, really uncomfortable in that sense. And as soon as I started speaking what I wanted, or doing, just shining a light on what it is I wanted, and saying that's the truth. Okay, I'm going towards that thing. Often, a lot of people don't really understand why you would make those choices, or why, but this path is laid out for you, right? So it's creating your own path, but it's also following your own path. So don't think that it has to be perfect, okay? Make room for good energy. Do some cleaning, do some tidy up. Tidy up is the theme for you right now. Yeah. Just gonna pull a little bit more for you here. Wow, okay. We have the Swan Queen, transformation, all right? Transformation, intuition, and patience. I'm definitely getting the focus here is about intuition. Crows are really, really tied to transformation as well. Like, that's, yeah, it's a passion of mine. I definitely feel that. I'm getting drawn to, there's two swans. Swans are soulmate energy. So it may be that part of this alignment has to do with you and a soulmate. Intuition is the piece I'm being really, really drawn to here. So it feels like you need to clear space and stand strong. Like, those are the things that I'm feeling with your energy here. Okay, we have the Eagle King. Big picture and angelic help, but I'm also just feeling really, really drawn to eagle energy in general here. So let me grab my animal book. This is one of my favorite animal spirit guidebooks, by the way. Yeah, really, I have 2 copies. I have 2 copies. It's a very long story. Well, not a very long story, but maybe not one that really matters to anyone. It's a special little story about why I have 2 copies from my time away in Scotland. Anywho, okay. So when the eagle shows up, it means there's an opportunity for you that you're considering, and it would be best if you took advantage of it soon. There will be a new beginning in a positive direction following a recent period of strife, one in which you've gained a great deal of stamina and resilience. So that stamina and resilience, like, that's really what I feel like you've been in training for as you've been around conflicting energies, right? Like conflicting paths. And it is about seeing the big picture. Like, that's what I was feeling with the crow. It's really about flying up to the top of the tree where you know you feel comfortable and acting from that place. It's almost like you've been hanging out on the ground, even though that's really where you're going to see everything. You've been hanging out on the ground because that's where your other friends are, you know? And it doesn't mean that you're not, like, you're still going to keep an eye out for your friends. You'll actually have a better perspective being up there. And they won't really miss you because you can always fly down. Like, it really is more open. I see 555 on the clock. It really is more open than it has seemed in the past. So it is like you've just been coming out of this. I feel like you're in the pause, like the lull. You already know you're out of the harder times, but you're sort of not sure what that new direction is going to look like, and you might have a lot of apprehension. But this is why you're getting this crow and eagle energy. Like, you are so supported. Whenever we see birds, and birds were a really big theme for like this fall. So it's, you know, it might even carry through part of the winter, I do feel. And it's really because we're being helped by, you know, these angelic guides, these spirit guides, these ancestors, and these teachers all, you know, above us. Detach and rise above the mundane so that you're able to see your life and circumstances with a broader perspective and greater vision. It's time for a great spiritual awakening, one where you experience a greater connection to the divine. This is an important time to get creative inspiration from the divine, so heed any guidance you receive. And whatever you put out, positive or negative, will now return to you in some form more quickly than ever. And it does feel like you may need to do some travel. Like, I keep seeing these birds taking flight. It does feel like you might need to do some kind of travel in order to get this reset or new direction. It may be your new direction is traveling, maybe. Okay. And then we have the spiral dancer, which says circuitous route and perception. So yeah, it is a lot about getting perspective, tidying up what you need to, kind of getting real, right? Like, not in a harsh way, in a, you know what, it's about time. It's about time to be truthful in all the ways. Yeah, we do, you know, this is a very long life we get to live, and it's also so brief, right? Yeah, it's time to act in accordance with your truth, your higher self. Yeah, and your heart. It really does feel, it really feels like you actually know what it is that you need to do. So wishing you all the support. Would love to know what it is you're doing, what this positive new direction looks like for you. And if you do resonate, feel free to, you know, like, comment, comment down below, even just saying what pile you chose. I love seeing that. Yeah. And I do have a new, I'm so glad I remembered this for you, actually, pile one. I don't always remember to talk about services or things like that because I get so excited doing the readings. But I just launched a new service, and I'm just doing it until like maybe mid-January or so, and it's a look ahead into 2021. So we'll sit over a video call, and I will tell you all about, you know, each month of 2021, so January to December. I'll pull cards for each month and tell you a look at what you might be going through on a soul level, spiritual, emotional, what kinds of challenges you might be facing, but also what gifts will be coming with those. So it's going to be a really special session. I've done it before with clients in person, so I'm just really excited to be able to offer it online. So it's called A Look Ahead into 2021, and you can book it below, and I would just love to see you there. Yeah, it's a really clarifying session. Like, if you've been thinking about doing one, this is like a big kahuna kind of session. And I made it, you know, longer so that we could spend more time, but didn't sort of price accordingly for that, just because I'm really excited to do them. So yeah, that's the look ahead into 2021. Hope to see you, you know, if you ever have trouble finding a time, please feel free to message me. Sometimes I can do some little shifting around. Some of my work is quite flexible in that way. So that is you, pile one. It's been a pleasure reading for you, and I'm wishing you all the faith and trust that, you know what, you're going to be able to do this. You're going to be able to pull those bed sheets tight, you know, and say, I got this. I've got to make this space and act true, act in accordance with what I'm hearing. It feels like you've actually been receiving a lot of spiritual wisdom, pile one. So yeah, very exciting. Okay, now we're moving on to pile two. Pile two, the Gatherer. I've been looking at this card sort of out the corner of my eye and really excited for what it says. So let us read what it says. Pile two. Pile two, before I forget, I just wanted to let you know that I have a new service on my site. It's called A Look Ahead into 2021. So I'm going to be doing a 12-month reading for you. And so this would be us sitting on a video chat and me sharing with you, much like, you know, how I do in these videos, but with a little bit more back and forth because you're actually on the other side, present with me at the same time, you know, rather than present with me later on. And yeah, it's a look ahead into 2021. I go through month by month what you might be experiencing, different gifts and, you know, patterns or challenges, and as well, you know, really looking at it from a spiritual perspective and emotional perspective. Yeah, what your 2021 is going to look like. 2020 has been quite a lot for a lot of people, and I just thought it would be a really nice way to clear out the energy, focus on what is coming, and really get sort of a bigger picture perspective on what that looks like. So look ahead into 2021. It's a fairly, you know, long session, and I didn't really price accordingly for that because I'm just really excited to do them. And I probably will only offer it till like mid-January or so. So if you have any troubles booking in for an appointment, just like reach out to me and send me a message. Yeah, it's going to be really cool though. So I would love to see you there. If you've been thinking about doing a reading, this is going to be a really fun one and a kind of like a big kahuna session. Okay, the Gatherer. I'm feeling a lot of good, like heart energy from you. It feels like you've been doing a lot of good heart-based work, kind of returning to self and feeling good. Okay, so you've been more challenged. It's like you've been feeling pretty good, but you've been more challenged by the idea of abundance and scarcity, some money mindset you might have been struggling with lately. So let's get into this. Before we cultivated grains, we collected the wild bounty of nature. The gatherer finds abundant seeds, nuts, berries, and wild greens, where the ordinary person sees only barren soil. The gatherer is the provider, the forager, and the gardener who collect roots and vegetables for the long winter when game is scarce. She does not hoard, trusting the bounty around her. Look at the resources you already have close at hand. This is a time of abundance. Everything around you is ripe and ready for harvest. Banish the notions of scarcity that have limited your choices and colored your destiny. Pack your food for the winter and start with the low-hanging fruit that is all around you. So it does feel like maybe you have been reaching, it's so funny that it said that because I was seeing someone reaching for, that's funny, I was just reaching for my cord as I'm saying that. Silly. I saw someone reaching like in a tree for like the perfect apple right at the top of the tree. And there's a whole bunch of apples that are fine for the picking, you know, lower down, but you just happen to like one just looks shiny, or you just happen to like that one. And so here you are trying to climb up this tree. And while you're doing so, you're knocking all these apples down to the ground. Right. And so you're seeing them almost as wasted. It's like you knock one down, you go, oh, I can't eat that now. It's already on the ground. But there's nothing that says you can't eat that, you know. I'm hoping this is going to relate to you in some way with how you've been seeing your abundance and scarcity, because it makes sense to me. But, you know, if you're not vibing on the apple tree thing, then there you go. Maybe the rest of the messages will be for you. So it feels like this person is like climbing up this tree. They're trying to get to the shiny apple, and they're missing all of these other shiny apples along the way because they're just hidden by one leaf, or, you know, they're just out of the way, or whatever, you know, there's one mark in it. And as you know, if you eat an apple, like you can eat the whole rest of the apple and just not the one mark spot, right? Or not the one bruise spot. Like it's not that big of a deal. So it feels like you've almost, it's like, it's so funny. I just keep seeing this image of the person in the tree. So this person is like starving. This person's super, super hungry. And they're so hungry that, you know, they're messing around and messing up all of these other apples that are all low hanging, and that you don't really have the strength to get up to the top. So yeah, it's a very interesting, it doesn't feel like there's like a lesson I'm just supposed to give you that image for you. So there you go. That's your image, pile 2. Someone climbing up a tree, starving, knocking down all these perfectly good apples, reaching for the shiny apple at the top. Not a very cryptic message, but hopefully it does relate to, you know, how you're how you're doing something right now. It helps you release that, you know. Oh, okay. Support. So there's no way to be in lack if you have support, right? There's no way that you're going to be unsuccessful if you have support. So if you have been struggling with finances or with thinking about how to increase them, like it feels like you're not necessarily struggling, but you're worried about maybe just a few months down the line, or you're worried about if you step off into a new direction, if you're also going to have the resources you need. And the thing is, like, if you're supported and if you're around loved ones, like you will be, it's not like they don't even have to, these loved ones don't have to have money and give you money. It's just that you'll feel that sense of support and be able to create for yourself what you need. So if you've not been feeling that lately, I do feel like some gratitude or some reaching out might be really beneficial. And I'm also being told, be mindful of who it is that you keep as company, right? Sometimes you can be around people that sort of perpetuate or help you perpetuate that story, which is not true, which is that you can't have what you want. So it may be that you're sort of like a bit of like a visionary or something around the people that you're with right now, and they're sort of writing off your ability to make income in multiple ways. It feels like you might be like an entrepreneur or wanting to live like an unconventional life as far as how you make money. Let me know if that resonates with you. I'd love to know what you're up to, just because, you know, we're all out here doing different things. And I'd love to know what you keep busy with, honestly. Answered prayer. So yeah, it does feel like maybe for the last 4 or 5 months or so, you've been like trying to create a new life for yourself or something. And that's why you haven't really been sure if support's going to follow you. It's like you don't know if when you embark on this new journey or new path, like new career direction maybe. It could also be new love direction. Feeling mostly career, but you know, collective readings are as they are. We also, we also have new beginnings. So new beginnings. Yeah, it does feel like your prayer is going to be answered. This new beginning's on its way. It's almost like, I do feel like it's already started. You just might not be having the gratitude to see that it's already here because you're waiting for that last apple to shift. You know, you're waiting for that last piece of the puzzle instead of making sure you're fed like along the way or doing the work beforehand. Yeah, it feels like you might be trying to skip a step. Okay, well, that's funny. I wasn't really sure whether it had anything to do with love, and here we are. Mother Mary, love and peace. Mother Mary's been coming out actually quite frequently for clients and for myself recently. It says, let go of the need to be right, choose peace, and mother healing is possible at this time. I really feel also though, it's about like mothering yourself, like this maternal side of you is wishing to be, ooh, I'm getting like goosebumps. This maternal side of you is really yearning to be held and to hold someone. Like I'm getting this vision of like whether, you know, no matter your gender is important and not relevant here. It feels like you're like your mother energy inside yourself, you specifically. It's like you're caring for a child, or you're seeing some sort of child or children and feeling like, well, that's the perspective I want. Well, that's the kind of life I want. Like, this is why, oh, okay. So it may be your mother role inside of you that's causing you to feel like you really need more money and to be able to support others. So that support actually might be about how you need to support others or wish to support others. You know, it's very good of you to want to give them such a good life. Very, very good of you. And at the same time, your love will help them feel supported and be able to create the life they need. Like, as long as those basics are covered and you act in pure love, then things will go right, okay? So that stress that you might be feeling about if you're good enough, to parent, to even to parent yourself, right? If you're not feeling like you will have children in this lifetime, even just how you treat other people around you, it's really seeming like this mother aspect of you is yearning to be at the forefront, right? So perception. Going to pull a plant ally card for you. I love these little cards. They have little poems on them, and definitely with feminine energy, I always lean towards floral healing. Some plants, some plants and flowers that do have a masculine energy, so it doesn't necessarily mean that, but on the whole. Okay, so we have hyssop. I really like hyssop. Actually, funny that this should come out, because when I first started making essential oil blends for my mother, and she has multiple sclerosis, so I have been, studying aromatherapy tools that might help her, managing her symptoms. Hyssop is one of those ones I always put in. Yeah, it's really special. Okay, it says clear the decks, wash your feet, purge all the messy closets that reside in your mind. Become still. You are safe. You are home. So I do feel like perception also is really about like perspective. It may be that you're putting your sights on a few months from now and going, well, how am I going to get there? I don't even know how that's going to happen. So you see, it's almost like you might be receiving intuition that something is going to be successful for you down the line, and then you're stressing about it now, when really all you need to do is stay open to it, keep saying yes where you need to say yes, and support yourself. It's interesting. It feels like at the same time, you need this maternal softness and nurturance. You're also being told, antelope spirit, life is speeding up, and be fearless and be bold with this badger. So yeah, it's interesting. Very, very interesting. It's like from that softness, you're going to find all the success that you're a little unsure about. Or from that soft place, maybe able to take more action because you're not getting in the way with your ego or getting in the way with all these other tasks that have to be done. Almost like if you could remove all of the things you feel you need to do and say, what do I feel is most important to me? Like, why am I doing all of these things? Why do I want this money? Why do I want a successful life? Like, why? Dig deeper, and then pause in stillness, right? Take a few breaths and then go deeper, like find that root. I feel like it's really about providing a safe home for children in some way. Please let me know if that resonates. I would love to know. So, life is speeding up. Be fearless, be bold. Yeah, find some space. I think this fearless and bold thing is like really about, it's like very unconventional to like take a step back or soften up or, let go of all the stuff and the action to recalibrate to what's inside and what's feeling based about it. It feels like you're missing something, like you're missing a piece. And some of it might be gratitude. Some of it might just be, people in your life. It might be like something is just not quite in place for you to have this. For you to have that. There's a few different things I'm feeling here. It feels a lot about children though, so. Might even be about creating a family. Like you might be really wanting to create a family, and that might be the thing you feel like is impossible, or you're in like a lack state about it. Okay. Wow. Okay. So you got transformation, butterfly maiden, and I'm just really feeling this is about the cocoon aspect, right? So that's how you're finding your quiet time, finding your space. We have siege, quiet time, which is hilarious. Spot on. It says, take some quiet time alone to rest, meditate, and contemplate. And then, wow, this is the second time. So Mother Mary showed up in the first reading and also showed up in this reading in different card decks, okay? We have Mother Mary, expect a miracle. And look, there's a little baby in Mother Mary's arms. And look at all the support all around. Like everything's going to be fine. Everything is so safe. Nothing, you can tell from that photo, right? Like nothing bad is going to happen to that child. Everything's going to be totally okay. It says, have faith that your prayers have been heard and are being answered. I'm getting a lot of ear. It feels like I'm like not hearing something, and then it feels like some ringing in the ears. Maybe that you've been feeling off balance lately. And also like you need to listen. It feels like you need to hear something. You need to hear something that's going to allow this to drop into place. 616 on the clock. Yeah, it feels like you need to hear something here from someone. Like it feels like you need to receive information in order to, that may be the bold action. It may be asking questions to someone that, I don't know, that one's feeling vague to me. Hopefully you can take that and run with it if that message is for you. Okay, then we also have easy does it, Una. And it's also like, I'm really getting drawn to her hair, like all falling down and being told maybe it's just time to let your hair down, right? Maybe it's time just to relax. Like if you've been holding this paternal, fatherly, like structured, ordered, really valuable, like it's not a bad energy, I should say, to be in father or to be in a positive masculine place. Feels like you've done a lot of good work actually to create that positive masculine sense inside yourself. And I think it's just time to integrate the mother healing aspect. It says there's no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing. So if you are rushing something, I feel like you're rushing the finances, and I feel like you're missing something along the way. That's what it feels like. Or it's like you're stressing about the finances when really being grateful for what you currently have would have you seeing everything differently, and it would take the weight off. It would take the pressure off and allow you to do more. So thank you very much, Pile 2. This has been your healing message, healing reading. Let me know if it did resonate. I really feel excited for you. Yeah, would love to know what you're doing with children, if that's something that you feel drawn to here. Just felt like that was really the focus. So thank you so much. Take care, and we'll see you very soon. Enjoy the rest of your day, wherever you are. Okay. Pile 3. Pile 3, the moon. Okay. I'm just going to see what this card has to say to us. I'm already feeling a lot of like very crown, third eye, like head energy. It feels like you've probably been getting dreams. You might have had some sleep interruptions lately. It might have been challenging for you to get sleep. In general, in the collective, that has been happening a lot. I actually don't struggle with sleep that often anymore. And I wasn't struggling with it. I just needed less this week, and it was very odd. I normally get like a pretty consistent level of sleep nowadays. But I was like just awake. And even one of the nights I debated coming on and doing a reading, but then I thought, oh, I might just get really like alert and excited. And I just didn't really want to have screens on in the middle of the night, you know, just for circadian rhythm stuff. I just didn't really want to have that blue light. But yeah, it was like, there was a bunch of nights actually where I just really only needed a short amount of time. And I allowed myself just to be resting and in a dreamy state, and allowing, you know, thoughts to come in and out of my mind and see what the spirits had to say to me, sort of thing. Okay. It says every 28 days, the moon manifests a steady progression from darkness to light and then back again. This phenomenon in our skies has a powerful impact on our human psyches. It offers us the certainty that after periods of emptiness and darkness, there's a light waiting so we can be reborn into a new phase. Oof. Wow. I didn't expect, you know, it's funny. I was feeling all this like third eye and crown energy, but I figured this group would just like already understand what that meant. And you might, But it also feels like this might be really new. Like you might be really opening up to starting to receive more spiritual messages right now. It says, this calls to mind an African prayer to the moon. May our lives be renewed as yours is. The moon also has a strong influence on the ebb and flow of waters on the earth. This same power, in turn, affects human feelings and emotions and mirrors their rising from or hiding back into the unconscious. Okay. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. So you've been feeling like a ton of activity and like you've been getting a lot of signs, like you've been getting a lot of signals from your guides. You may not recognize it as such, so I'm just letting you know that's what they are. You might be seeing a lot of synchronicities. I'm getting that you might be hearing things through songs. And then also it feels like you've been seeing things everywhere. It feels like you just you'll like think of something and then see a picture and go, what? This is so weird. And it does feel weird. Like it does feel uncomfortable when it first starts, for sure. I need to look at this again. I honestly am feeling like a lot of different information coming in. It feels like you might be struggling with like receiving the information you're getting because it brings up a lot of feelings. It's almost like when you start waking up to the truth, you realize so much, you know, so much of your time has been in the darkness. And yeah, I'm getting like a lot of like feelings, sensations. Like there's like so many things going on with my body right now. If I was like so listing them, I feel like I have like chills coming down. My feet feel like tingly. My hands feel hot. It feels like I have goosebumps on like my arms. Feels like I have some like white noise kind of sound. And it also feels like some swirling energy and some catching. And it also feels emotional. Like it feels like so many things going on. And I can handle this like for you right now. It feels okay. But I can't imagine if this is your all the time, how overwhelming that might feel. Please trust that you have what you need to get through this, and you have, you know, you have these emotions coming up for a reason. These emotions are just showing you something. They're just showing you how you feel about stuff. Yeah, I was working with someone earlier this week, and it was really lovely. And one of the things, you know, we said or that came up in the session was like, you know, what's so bad about being sad? You know, it hurts and then it's gone at some point. And sadness is it can be hard when you're in sadness to understand this. I get that, okay. But sadness can be a really beautiful way of showing us what doesn't belong and what we really feel like. What is the opposite thing of that sadness? That's actually something you really deeply care about, right? If you're really sad because you feel if you're really sad because you feel you let yourself down, that's letting you know that you really want to bring yourself up and you really want to do well for yourself. If you're sad because it feels like you feel empty, it's because you really know what that feeling of fullness is and you miss it and you'd like to be back. And that sadness can propel you. It can propel you to finding the ways that help you feel full and loved and good enough, right? So that empty, lonely, dismayed, disappointed, regretful side of yourself is really just pointing you towards that full, proud, loving side of yourself, okay? The moon spends equal time in the dark as it does in the light of the sun, and now it comes to remind you of this balance. Yeah, so it might be time to meditate with the moon as well. You may be feeling drawn to the moon a lot more lately. Okay, it's funny, normally I shuffle cards, but sometimes I just feel really drawn to whatever one's on top. This one here is chamomile. I do feel that's really, really tied to you here, like you're needing this gentleness, softness. It's also anti-inflammatory. I feel like a lot of body pain has been happening for you lately, so just encouraging you to relax the nervous system and take care of yourself. However you feel you need to at this time. Be okay stepping away and taking care of yourself, finding what you need to feel right and to feel whole. It says, in the winter of the soul, chamomile envelops the heart like a blanket warmed by the wood stove, bringing quiet, comfort, and a reminder that summer is a state of mind. We can call on this friendship anytime we need to for a belly laugh and a safe place to rest. Yeah, doesn't that feel so nice for you, pile 3? Imagining a belly laugh and a safe place to rest. So cozy. If you're not cozy already, I think it's time to get cozy. Yeah, you're in healing energy right now. This is what you've been going through for a while. I'd like to support you by bringing in some angelic support because it feels like you've kind of been in the depths lately, maybe doing a lot of reflecting on your past and how you've been living your life. Yeah, okay. You're getting call to action. So at the same time you're finding this softness, this is like a running theme. So honestly, you could probably watch all of the last card readings and still get a very similar message. It feels like the collective energy is like softening to strength. So that's what I'm going to call this pick a card softening to strength, because it really does feel that's like the pathway people are on. And I'm just sort of giving different messages to encourage. Wow, yeah, really fascinating. Okay, so call to action says take charge, lead by example, and it says walk your talk. Walk your talk and speaking your truth came up a lot in pile 1. And then we have Ostara, fertility, which came up in pile 2. It's talking a lot about children in pile 2. And here I see 2 rabbits and I'm feeling really, really drawn to these bunnies. So I'm going to read from the Animal Spirit Guides deck, book, not deck, book. It says, this is the perfect time for you to start new projects, access new ideas, and give birth to new conditions. So I feel like you're birthing like a new time in your life. It may be that you're also focusing on fertility or creating a family or, you know, something along those lines. Okay, I'm actually going to read hair. Yeah, hair is in here. Okay. So when hair shows up, it means whatever project you're working on, move quickly and remain flexible. Beware of anyone trying to trick or deceive you. You might be fooling yourself about some adventure or a relationship, and you might not be paying close attention to the obvious signs. It doesn't feel like you're being, this is funny, the way that this comes out, it says you might be fooling yourself about some venture or relationship and not be paying attention to the obvious signs. It actually feels like you're just not paying attention to the positive signs. Like you're paying attention to any sign that tells you to stay back or to not go, but you're just not paying attention to the ones that feel like, go ahead, you know? That's what it feels like to me. It also feels like you've been nervous, like you might have had a lot of anxiety. I get this like really alert energy and I feel kind of like unstable in my root. I think your home life also has been causing you to question a lot of things. It says pay closer attention to the cycles of the moon. Love that, cool. And coordinate your activity so that it corresponds with the moon's waxing and waning stages. I'm creating a moon phase calendar right now, so I'm really excited. I wish it was already available so I could just tell you, pile 3, I have this awesome resource on its way, but soon, whatever soon is. Soon is so relative. Like, what does soon mean to anyone? I don't know. Okay, it says you'll be required to make some unexpected and rapid changes in direction in the coming days. And this might be because something finally drops into you that you want to make a rapid change. You want this unexpected movement to happen. The hair, bounding, and this fertility, right? Like the fact that I'm being so drawn to this hair, you know, rabbits, and you know what they say about rabbits. If you don't, look it up. If you don't, ask your parents. Funny. Oh, very funny. Okay. And then we have Bast, independent. So it says your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. I do feel like you've maybe been relying on situations which are not growing. It feels like you might be in a few different things right now that just, you're like, this is stuck. It's stagnant. It's not moving anywhere. And so I think for this feeling, it's like, recognize that this independence is really about your own inner voice, like your own internal path. It says you're a channel for divine healing power, medicine woman. Yeah, it may be that you that you're actually getting wisdom even from the moon. Like you might be at night getting a lot of information, and then during the day it feels like things are really off. And yeah, okay, dreams. Yeah, feels like during the day things like almost like you put them off. It's time for you to take a retreat. Wow, this is a really clear message, right? Moons, dream, like take a retreat, understand like this fertility, like you're giving birth to new conditions in your life. Like this is really powerful for you, pile 3. I'd be curious, pile 3, let me know if you also, like if you chose this pile and if you resonate, yeah, like the normal stuff. But I'd also be curious if you watch the other piles, whether you get stuff from those as well. I just really feel like for pile 3, it might be interesting for you to watch pile 1 and 2. I know it's a lot of listening to me, but well, you're already this way through the reading, so you must be okay listening to my voice. Oh, okay. Oh, this is so nice. Okay. I was really feeling Kalima actually today. I was on a really long beach walk, and that's funny. Sometimes when I put the card deck down, I turn around one of the cards just to see if it gives me any more information. Sometimes it reads and sometimes it doesn't, and I just leave it. This one was go outside, so I said I was out on a beach walk and I saw go outside, so I just thought it was funny. Yeah, I took this really, really long walk today, and was really feeling, yeah, like I was singing songs to Kali, really interesting energy here. So it's endings and beginnings. Says the old must be released so that the new can enter. Feels like the old is like this old way of, you know, not listening to yourself. It feels like the old way is ignoring the signs that you're getting and ignoring this feminine, like intuitive, symbolic or poetic or romantic side of yourself. And then we got Isolt. Undying love. It says the love you have shared is eternal, regardless of the situation. So I am feeling like a past life love connection here. So I'm going to pull from the past life deck just to see whether there's any more information here. But I also feel like this undying love is like, it's like innately a part of you. You really, none of us can love someone else unless we already, it's not like you can't love someone until you love yourself, because I don't actually believe that's true. We feel love for people because we already know what love is, right? So if you're struggling with having that love to yourself, or if you're struggling with communicating love to others, remember that just you focusing on it is reminding you that you already know what this is like. You already know what love is. You already have the capacity to hold so much great love just by being a human, okay? Okay, I'm not even gonna pull more. This is so lovely. And I'm gonna leave you on this note, pile 3, because at this point you might have had to listen to the other 2 piles, so you know. It says forgiveness, and I'm feeling this forgiveness is to yourself. It may be to a loved one also. I'm getting the large part of it is to yourself, but look how beautiful it is. There's 2 doves. 2 doves and undying love. Like, this is so nice. It's like making me emotional because I'm just feeling you have so much love to give and share and express. Yeah, do forgive yourself. Forgive yourself also by taking time to take care of yourself. Like, it feels like you can sort of put away these regrets or disappointments. Feels like you can put away these regrets and disappointments, but if you retreat and take time away, then you'll sort of be made to face them, and in the facing of them, you really will reconnect to that inner sense of love that you've been hoping for. So that's what I got for you, pile 3, very special. Oh, before I go, I mean, this is funny to me now, because this is funny. If you've already watched pile 1 and 2, you've already seen that I've remembered to say at each pile, I have a new service that I just put up on the site, and it's linked down below. So again, I'm sorry if you already listened to pile 1 and 2, you can just turn the video off here if you already know and are excited for this look ahead into 2021 service.
But if you only watch pile 3, I would like to share that I created this new service just for like a short time, because it really only makes sense to me to do it until like maybe mid-January. And it's called A Look Ahead into 2021. It would be me and you sitting over a video chat just like this, and except I'd get to hear your voice, which is awesome, and see your face if you'd like to be on video. And I do a reading for each of the months of 2021. So a month by month reading, intuitively picking up on the different soul lessons, spiritual growth, emotional healing, different challenges, and also different gifts that are going to be, given to you and shown along the way. 2021 has felt like a bit of a roller coaster for most. I just don't really know many people who have not, there have been ups, but there's also been a lot of downs, and loop-de-loops. And so I just really feel called to give this session a chance, and let you really get a feel for what 2021 is going to be like, a larger perspective, and to feel excited for how you're going to transform and grow, right? Even if there are going to be things getting in your way, it's nice to see them ahead of time in some context, to just feel like when it comes in, you feel a little bit more prepped for it, if that makes sense. So I would love to do this reading with you. It's called A Look Ahead into 2021. You can book it down below. And again, I'm only really going to offer it probably till mid-January or so, just because it doesn't really make sense to do it for that much longer. And yeah, I've done these for clients before and I really love them. And I do one for myself like every year, because I think it's so fascinating. I'll take a photo of it and then I go look back at it throughout the year. And honestly, every time I'm like, whoa, that's exactly what I went through. Like sometimes I don't have the present moment awareness of, oh yeah, back at the beginning of the year, this happened. But I do feel like setting up for it ahead of time has allowed me to be more graceful and accepting of the ups and downs. And when you see it all laid out in a year, you realize how much you can really do, accomplish, and grow through a year. So I would love to see you for one of those. If you have any trouble booking in for a session, even like finding a right time, some of my work is flexible and I might be able to work with you. So you can feel free to send me an email if that ever happens to you. If you've been thinking for a while about doing a reading with me, this might be one of those, like, it's time to make the call now, because it's just going to be a really cool one. And the rate is less expensive given how much time I spend on it, because I really like doing these readings and I talk a lot. So it needs a lot of time if I'm going to talk about your whole year. So that being said, it's been a pleasure reading for you, Pile 3. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you soon. So take care.